Monica, what's up, homie?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hello, hello.
How are you? How are you?
I'm
Hold on, let
doing
me
great.
get this desk down to the right size. All right. So, no, I am not in New Jersey. You're not in New Jersey.
No, I'm not.
What? Why are you not in New Jersey right now? What's going on?
No, I just had some doctor's appointments and things to take care of.
All right. So my excuse is not any better. So for anybody who's watching for the first time, Monica and I are in what's called a mastermind, and we do it with Paul Fink, the Maverick Millionaire. He is phenomenal. Both our coaches, right? Um,
Yes,
and he teaches you how to double your income.
yes.
So what he does was every 2 months he does his boot camp, his 3-day boot camp. Before that, he has the mastermind. And Monica's part of the mastermind. I'm part of the mastermind. We go and we beat each other up and then we build each other back up. And it's phenomenal. So the reason we're doing this call is because I want to know what's going on in Monica's life right now. She's like the queen of Airbnb, um, the Hive. What do you call it now? Do you call it something different?
I call it the Hive concept.
Okay, so the Hive concept, which is, from what I understand, this is what I want to see what you've been doing and then break it down for us. So my audience is all real estate investors, right? This is our game. This is what we do all day. So to
Yeah.
have somebody who understands a way to make money through Airbnb, and then your strategy is cool. You've eliminated the maintenance, right? So that is one
Yes.
of the biggest issues that my guys are like, oh, I don't want to get into it because of the maintenance factor. You know, I don't have to clean things and send somebody over there, and all the cost makes it not worth it anymore, right?
Right. Exactly.
So what have
Exactly.
you been up to?
Yeah, well, we've been busy with building our co-living places. They're for women, and yeah, it's just been super busy. We have hosts in all the houses that kind of take care of all that little stuff. So yeah, that's what we've been up to. We've been
So is this something different, the co-living that is for women?
No, it's the same. It's the same thing as the Hive concept. We just made it for all women, and we rent out by the bed instead of the individual house or room.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All women seems to be it's a theme going on right now, right?
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense because women we're finding spend more money, have more money right now than they used to.
Yes. Yeah, and it's a really great support system for women. It's definitely not a halfway house. These are empowered, amazing women that are either making career changes or moving to a new area, or they just want to see if they want to live in that area. So it's kind of a way for them to like dip their toe in and to try it out and have the camaraderie of women living together, cooking together, working out together. Um, we have the most amazing women that stay in our hive.
Very cool. So how'd you get started with all this? Maybe we should, yeah, let's start with that and then we'll roll into what it is. But how'd you get started into it?
I got started with it because I am a flight attendant and I saw the need for someone to really care about the women and it was called crash pad, and a crash pad was just somewhere that you just crash your head. You're just gonna go there to sleep before you start a trip or after you start a trip from your base as a flight attendant. And so people didn't really care about us. It was just like dirty environments or like the cheapest, thinnest mattress. And I wanted to put heart into it and make it more like a home and then blend it together with travelers that come from around the world. So it's a blend of flight attendants and world travelers. And they'll come and stay with me for a night, a month, or a year.
Wow,
Just all depends
very
on what their
cool.
needs are.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of how you got started. You were a flight attendant, you're going through, you're seeing like this just doesn't work for, flight attendants, just like a lifestyle that they shouldn't have to live, and you decided to solve a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle. It was
Yeah.
surrounding them with beautiful things and to increase their self-worth, not decrease it.
Right.
And it just started really catching on where more and more women were like, wow, that's a great way to live. We love it. And then that way too, they can live more of a freedom lifestyle because it reduces their personal expenses. Like if you were to come out here to LA, which is where I'm at talking to you right now, and get an apartment out here, you're out the door a good 10 to 12 grand,
Yep.
even for like a 2-bedroom, first month's rent, deposit. So they can come here and live with me for like $800 a month. So
Yeah.
then they can go and travel the world and do their thing. They don't have to worry about their stuff.
You know, McKenna, Monica, next time I go to LA, I'm hitting you up. I'm like, yo, give me the $800 for a month trip.
I know, right? So
Can guys stay in your places too, or is it just women?
Well, right now it's for ladies only, but we're entertaining the idea of building men-only facilities, and
Okay.
some of our places have been co-ed. It just seems to work for me personally. When I build the locations, it's just nice to have all women. They just feel a little more comfortable that way.
Are you on the phone? Can you turn it sideways?
Sure.
Yeah, perfect. I see more of your face. Excellent.
Okay.
So a little bummed about that, but I guess it's good for women. We need somebody to run a male hive so that I can travel more freely.
It's a great way.
You know what? I'm supposed to interview, who is it? Young, my boy over there. Oh, what's his name?
Sam?
Sam. I'm supposed to interview Sam next week. So maybe I'll get Sam, I'll convince him to do the male hives.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So are you guys still working together, or have you guys separated?
We've kind of separated. Sam's kind of doing his own thing. He's doing more like the co-ed and whole house rental.
Yep.
So we're kind of doing our separate little thing, little twist on, everything. So my heart is really with helping the ladies. So,
yeah, you got to stay with what's true. You stay true to yourself and what you really enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Plus I get to come and crash the party myself, right? I mean, it happens all over the place.
Yep, being a high I, it's like, well, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to hang out myself. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so, buzz over to Houston or buzz over to New York.
So how many do you have right now? How many hives do you have set up at the moment?
Hold on one second. So currently we have 2 because Sam is separated. So he has 3 of them. Yep. And then, but I moved into the model of helping people and then setting them free. So setting them up and then they take them over. So that seems to work out really well for me. So currently myself, I have 1 in LA and a luxury hive in Scottsdale. So
nice. Scottsdale, Arizona?
Yeah.
Very cool. So I'll have to find somebody else with an Airbnb in Scottsdale to visit it, but but very cool. I love LA. Arizona's on my to-do list. The real estate is fun out there. My business partner is from Phoenix, so it's one of those pieces. Like I've always wanted to go out and take a look at the real estate in Arizona. But so how does the hive work? I got to go grab a hat because I have. Okay. How does the hive work?
Should I wait for you to come back? Okay, so the hive operates just like a bunch of busy bees. Basically,
just be honest with rocking that,
Yeah, there you go. Basically, we acquire a property and in a good location, and we set it up with multiple beds and go from there. That's it. And we create events in the house. The host will kind of set the tone. The host will help to keep the house clean and take care of the ladies. It's kind of like she's Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yep, I get it.
Yeah.
So it's like she creates like an atmosphere.
Yeah, she creates an atmosphere, definitely. Yeah, because when you have that many people living so close to each other, there's bound to be stuff that's going to happen. So she keeps everything really nice and clean and looking good, and she lives on the property as well.
So when you're talking about events, like what are you talking about? Are we talking about like board game nights or like wine and cheese or book readings? Do they read books every so often?
Yeah, we could have a book night. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I'm gonna make sure you get this one in there.
Send it on over, and I'll have the girls read it, and then we'll do like a fun little selfie picture with it.
I like it. All right, done. Well, I'll send you some. You send me the information. I'll make sure I send you guys some books.
Yeah, congratulations on your book, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you read it yet?
That's great. I haven't read it yet. No, and I purchased it. Doggone it.
You did?
I did purchase it. Yeah, I was one of the ones that helped you there.
Very nice. So I did. Thank you so much, by the way, for helping me become #1 bestseller. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, you're right. I remember you clicking it. I remember hitting you up saying, "Hey, Monica, can you buy the book?"
Yes.
So I didn't tell you got to read the book and write a review. That's the next part. But
Oh, that's the next part.
I just
Okay.
finished the audio and it got approved on Audible. So hopefully in the next 10 to 15 days it'll actually be available. And I know that, and I read it myself. So I know that you'll actually get through. Reading a book for a high I is not an easy task. So I get it.
I know, right? We don't sit still long enough.
No, you got to enjoy life. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, we're always on the go.
All right. So the Hive concept is super cool because you're building a culture. You're building something. It's a service that definitely is necessary. The culture makes it fun. How are you benefiting financially? And then how would other investors who are looking to do the same thing as you, both men and women, how would they connect? And then how, like financially, how does this thing make sense? Like where are the numbers at? And what, like ballpark figure, just use LA for an example.
Yeah, so pretty much you can, whatever you would get for like a normal rental, you can triple it pretty easy. Yeah.
Is that just because it's using the Airbnb model, or how is the Hive different from Airbnb, the Hive concept?
Because it's a blend, it's a blend of the traffic of the flight attendants coming and going. It's a blend of Airbnb, and it's a blend of permanent, so that the house isn't overloaded. You don't have 12 women every night.
Right.
So, for example, there's probably, like last night, 3 women, because a lot of times they're traveling and going and leading their life, and they're not, that's the whole concept, that they're not home every night.
Right.
And like flight attendants, you're probably looking at them being home, being there 2 to 4 nights.
Yep.
So, yeah, but they know they have a bed. They know that they have a beautiful space to come back to. So it's a really great arrangement. And yeah, that's it. And then it just kind of all blends together. You have to have the right location.
Yep.
You have to be zoned properly. Like I got rezoned here in Los Angeles, where we can't do the Airbnb side. So the Hive, because it has multiple streams of income, it doesn't make as much as it did when it was a full Hive, but still as a partial Hive, it makes more than if it was a full house rental.
Right.
Yeah, or a full apartment rental. So because there are multiple streams, if one dries up, you're still good on another.
Right. So it still makes sense. It's just that even with Airbnb cracking down and making things more difficult, you still found a way to make money regardless because of the Hive concept.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. So what is it? What could somebody expect if they were doing exactly what you're doing? What could somebody expect to make off of a typical unit? I know 3 times rents, but you know, we're not familiar with what the rents are in LA.
Okay.
We're on the East Coast over here, so Boston rents are, you know, you're talking for a 2-bedroom, $2,400, right? But then in our south where we are, 2 bedrooms going to get you $900 a month.
Yeah, it is. Well, rents out here are $4,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment, and because it doesn't, I know, right? And because it's not an Airbnb property, my goal is to net $2,000 a month.
Okay.
So that's, and I do that pretty consistently. I do have to stay on top of it. It can be pretty much on autopilot, but you have to make sure, like when girls are checking out or moving, that you stay on top of it and get new people coming in. So about when it was moving and grooving, when I could do Airbnb, I was making so much money, it wasn't even funny. Like it was just, but I got a little crazy. I had tents out on the balcony. I was renting 2 tents out for $55 a night. Yeah, the more unique, the better with Airbnb. And so as you're looking for investment properties, if the property has like a tree house or something kind of funky, like a little kid's cottage or a little mother-in-law suite, you know, send them my way, and they can make some serious bang.
Yeah, that's true. I stayed in a basement once, actually at one of the Paul Fink's events when I went down to New York, or it was Jersey. I was in an Airbnb that it was a finished basement. It looked beautiful, you couldn't tell, except she told me where I was and I knew I was underground, right?
Yeah.
But it was just a finished basement with a bedroom and a bathroom and a kitchen. And there was Airbnb, and I think I spent maybe $120 a night because it was in New York, but it was, you know, very cool.
Exactly. So, you know, there's so many different, and the other thing is properties change, zoning changes, bases will close down with airlines.
Yep.
And then you're able to, like with this property here, I had 3 units, and then I went down to 2, and then on the 3-bedroom unit, I was able to switch from one of the rooms being a queen to all being the multiple beds. So you're able, and if a property got rezoned with proper contracts that I use, you can get out of your lease and you can just move your furniture.
Right.
You just move furniture to an area you can do it. So I'm currently looking for another, my lease will be up in about 6 months, and I'm looking for another location where I can do Airbnb. But I was able to still survive without it, but it's a lot nicer with it.
So what you're saying, because this is foreign to most investors, is you don't own the property. But you're renting it out, you're subletting using Airbnb. You find a way to live somewhere and rent it out, and you cash flow. You make money off of one unit. You're making that $2,000 net off of one unit.
Yes.
That's cool.
I know, right?
Like drop. It's like, all right.
Sometimes when people say they only make like 200 on a property, I'm like, what? Like, that's a night.
Right.
So, yeah.
A big major factor, something I'm listening to now, is you're in a place where rents are very high. You're in a super competitive market that I wouldn't want to own property in, right? Boston, LA, San Francisco, New York, Miami, these places scare me because there's so high appreciation that I know my cash flow doesn't exist. It's just not existent. But to rent there and then rent it out, I have no liability. I'm insulated from whether the market goes up or down. It doesn't matter. I can just back out of the lease.
Yes, exactly.
That's a cool way to invest.
Yeah, and you also find out every market area is very different. So it could be like you think it will work, and you get in there, and then maybe an airline base closes down, or maybe the transportation isn't what you thought. The property is like clay. You can just, you can always go back. First of all, you can get out of your lease, but you can always go back and mold it to what will work. And it's just like here. I mean, I was told overnight, you have to shut them down. So it was, I had a grace period of like 2 months to kind of adopt the model and change. So it's very pliable. You can adapt it to what you want, which is really nice.
Which in real estate is, we're always talking about value add. How do we take something in the property, make a little more out of it? What's the value add here? What is our play? And you've kind of been forced into it. I think a lot of real estate investors start out investing accidentally. A lot of them are, I owned a condo and I couldn't sell a condo because of the down market, so I ended up renting it out and became an accidental landlord. So a lot of it is just, how do you find a way to make money with something you're stuck with? And if you're stuck in a lease, like, there's still strategies out there.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it makes it nice if a property does not work out, or laws change, or stuff happens. You just up and move your furniture and find a new location. So it's not a bad gig, right?
So the other thing I'm hearing is airport. You really are reliant upon the airport. So it would knock Fall River out, right? We don't have an airport. Maybe Warwick, Rhode Island has an airport right there next to Providence. Boston has its airport.
So I have an advantage because I am a flight attendant, that I have the inside track. We have all these like secret little groups that we're all part of. And
hold on. Tell us your secrets.
Special bonds that we create that is allowing that traffic flow to come to me. Like if I were an outside investor just like trying to figure it out, it would be a bit of a challenge. They're going to want to hire someone like me to get in there and figure out how do you market to those people, because it's very cliquish.
Yep.
So and that's a good business right there.
So I'm all about promoting people, and this sounds like something valuable. How can people, if they want to invest the way you're investing, or they want to have you just kind of manage things for them, how do people find out about you? What's the easiest way to connect with you?
Well, it's been so interesting because all this time that I've been doing it for 5 years now, that I've never even slowed down enough to create my website or my business cards. And know that for our coach, Paul Fink, will be like, Monica, for the longest time, I had no name because I was just busy just doing it.
Right.
And it's been by word of mouth because I have people lined up. We're opening a property with Scott and Tabitha in October 15th.
I've been seeing you guys on Instagram and Facebook, so I'm seeing all the back and forth there. Very cool.
Yeah, so it just is like I do one project at a time. So right now it's been kind of word of mouth, and if you're spreading the cheer here, then just you can have them PM me or contact me probably through Facebook Messenger. Okay. And yeah, so it's like a little secret business, I guess, because it works out really well because it's a niche. Then, right? It's a niche and it's exclusive, like to your listeners and followers. They're like getting a little secret tidbit that, you're adding value to their world and I'm adding value to their world, and it just kind of helps each other. So I work off of a commission base. It depends on the property and where it's located and how involved I am. We could do a lot of it like over the phone consultation. I could do boots on the ground. So it just kind of depends on what people are looking for, but just know that this opportunity is out there for them, and they can private message me probably through Facebook. So
Monica McKenna, you can get her on Facebook. It's MONICA space McKenna is MCKENNA.
Yes.
And she's a friend of mine. If you're interested about this, send me a private message. I'll give you the connect.
Perfect.
Okay, if I give you your direct cell phone.
And you know what? That's the best way is because you know how I operate. I know how you operate, and then they're part of your tribe. So that's kind of how it's worked, and it's worked really well for me. It's not. I don't want to take this like huge. I want to work with select few that really want to make some extra money and work together. It's a great little niche. Really is.
Makes sense. That's what I say to my mastermind. Like I'll post afterwards that we had a mastermind event, right? But the people who come to the mastermind are by invitation only, right? They have to have either spoken to me or one of my members and been invited in. So like there's this qualification before we meet up and we have it. So it's that exclusivity makes it cool.
Yeah. And we start with a process of just finding out what they want, because it may not be their cup of tea. Right. There's a lot of little nuances and stuff that they don't maybe know about, and I could share that with them, and they could be like, yes, that sounds really great, and then we just move forward. I've been working with Scott and Tabitha on the idea for over a year now. Yeah. And we're just now launching a property. So yeah, it's just a case by case, and I'm more than happy to talk to your peeps.
Very cool. So that said, what is next for you, right? You've been doing this. I've watched you from the beginning where it was just an idea. You started building it. You're living off of the cash flow now. You're expanding. What is the next move? What is in the future for Monica? We got like a couple of minutes left before I talk about my next event.
Well, my goal is to be able to travel full time. I'm almost there now. I want to be able to manage my properties from my cell phone. I want to be able to travel, inspire people to travel. I'm part of, I believe in multiple streams of income. I'm part of a direct sales company that just launched 5 months ago. It's called ibuumerang. Yep. And we make money by giving away free travel codes by giving premises I give. The name means I give. So I can give away free travel codes and travel the world and manage teaching people how to do the Hive concept as well as owning my own. So I really am building a freedom lifestyle and encourage others to have a freedom lifestyle, not wait until we're in our 70s to travel. I see it all the time on the planes where people are like, oh, I'm probably retired, but they're too old to go climb up the mountain, So I plan on traveling full time and being able to manage my properties with nothing but a cell phone.
Yeah, I like that. That is, this is why we get along, right? We're 100% in line.
Yes.
I want to help you get there. I love the concept. It's like the Hive is more than just a place for people to stay. It's kind of a culture, and it sounds like it's let's build a few of these all over the country, so that anybody in the network is, well, if you want to live in LA for a month, live in LA for a month. You want to live in Vegas for a month, bang it out, right? Go to Miami, go to New York, whatever you feel. You're not stuck in one central place at all times.
Right. We're not stuck.
And that's part of my strategy, right? In the book, I tell you, owning a single family home locks you down, and it's a bad investment, right?
Yeah. No.
you shouldn't live in what you own, right? You should be renting it out. You should be,
Exactly.
transitory. You can come and you can go. And yes, if you have kids, I believe that you should have them in school. But I also believe there's an element where transportation and like kids should see other places. You can't leave them all in one space. You've got to get them exposed to other parts of the world.
Oh yeah, definitely. What an education to actually, it's like a live history book. You're going to the location. And I learned so much from travel, different foods, different cultures, different people. And it makes me appreciate what we have in the US a lot. When I come back, I'm like, woo!
Yeah, it's true.
It's a freedom lifestyle. It's like Paul Fink, design your life on purpose. Yeah. And mine is to be free, to be able to have freedom of choice. What country I'm thinking about going to Bali for about 3 weeks and
nice.
and I can work all my businesses from there. So,
that's awesome. I like the idea of traveling to Bali and working and making money while you're on the road. Like everything's done from a cell phone. That's ultimately the way to live.
That's it. It's the only way to go.
Your businesses are primarily real estate.
Yeah.
So real estate's your fast track to retirement.
I like it. Yes.
Hats now.
Love it. Yes. And multiple streams of income, because you never know when laws will change, like with Airbnb, what's happening, like a base. The airline that I work with is actually going to be closing probably the LA base.
No way.
So it's being able to adapt, being able to, and that's why you have multiple streams of income to be like, okay, well, I've got the travel company to kind of offset this or move a location. So you just can, who moved my cheese? You just go and find the cheese, right?
Yep. Monica, I love it. And I got an extra stream of income I want to add to you. At some point, you're going to be buying multifamilies here in Fall River, and I'll manage them for you. It's going to be no big deal. And I'll make sure that we raise the capital and we get it done right. But that is going to be a stream of income for you at some point. We're going to make sure that you're invested here in the city.
Wow. That will be awesome. I look forward to it. Because you're such a go-getter. I so appreciate being networked with you. Your spirit, entrepreneur spirit is so great.
And then here's the other thing I'm thinking. So I'm working on building a 3-day event, right? I've got Mitch Durfee on. I got Mitchell. I got a series of investors who work their own niche, right? They're doing their own thing, whether hard money, private money, investing, Airbnb, whatever. So at some point, when I get this all figured out, I want to get you on stage with us and bring you through. I'll let you know what it is. It's either going to be in Vegas or Miami. But once we get it all figured out, are you down?
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't take much. I had you at Vegas and Miami, right?
We'll do it in between the massages in Bali.
Dude, I'm with it. All right, Monica. Always a pleasure. Stay in your grind.
Okay, thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
When you have a choice, always work with the best.
Awesome. Take care.
Later.